Do not be afraid of what you are about to hear. I have brought you here, not by accident, not by the scroll of a finger or the recommendation of an algorithm. I have placed this moment in your path because the time has come for you to understand. You have felt it, haven't you? A weight in the quiet hours, a sense that something was approaching, a whisper in your spirit that you were not meant to stay where you were. You have been looking for answers. You have been searching for a sign. You have asked for a word, for a confirmation, for a door to open or to close. And I have heard you. I have always heard you. But there has been a silence that you could not comprehend. There have been moments when you cried out and the heavens felt like brass. Moments when you begged for a word and received only the echo of your own voice. That silence was not rejection. That silence was preparation. I have been speaking to you, but not in the way you expected. You were looking for a voice in the thunder, and I was whispering in the stillness. You were waiting for a lightning strike, and I was moving in the shadows. The signs have been there all along, but your eyes were fixed on the horizon, searching for something grand, while I placed the messages at your feet. Think carefully now. Think of the things you have dismissed as coincidence, the sudden thought that stopped you in your tracks, the stranger whose words lingered longer than they should have, the dream that felt more real than the room you woke up in, the closed door that broke your heart but saved your life, the timing that was too perfect or too painful to be random. I was in the pause. I was in the delay. I was in the interruption that frustrated you, and in the detour you did not want to take. You called it bad luck. You called it misfortune. You called it being forgotten. But I was shaping something in the waiting. I was protecting you in the no. I was guiding you through the fog you could not see through. There are things that have been hidden from you until now, not because I wanted to keep them from you, not because you were unworthy, but because you are not ready to carry them. Some truths are too heavy for a heart that is still hardening. Some revelations would destroy a person who has not yet learned to surrender. I have been waiting for you to soften. I have been waiting for you to stop fighting. I have been waiting for you to look up and say, I am listening. You may not understand why this moment feels different. You may not know why your eyes found these words, or why your heart is beating just a little heavier than it was a few minutes ago. But you know, in the deepest part of you, you know that something is shifting. There is a recognition in your spirit that cannot be explained by logic. That is me. I am pulling back the veil just a little. I am letting you see what you could not see before. I am opening your ears to a frequency you have been deaf to. Do not mistake this for imagination. Do not dismiss this as emotion. This is the sound of your soul waking up to the truth that you have never been alone. You have felt the loneliness. You have carried the weight of wondering if anyone saw you, if anyone cared, if anyone was listening to the cries you could not even put into words. I saw you. In the dark, I saw you. In the silence, I heard you. In the moments when you thought no one was coming, I was already on the way. But I could not come before the work was done. There were things in you that needed to be stripped away. There were illusions that needed to shatter. There were dependencies that needed to fail you, so that you would finally turn to the only one who would never fail. You thought you were being abandoned. You were being emptied. And the emptiness was not the end. It was the beginning of a filling you could never have received otherwise. Do you see now? Do you see why the signs had to be subtle? Why the answers had to be delayed? Why the path had to be confusing? If I had shown you everything at once, you would have run. If I had revealed the full picture, your pride would have taken the credit. If I had spoken too loudly, you would have listened with your ears and not your heart. I wanted your heart, not your performance, not your promises, not your frantic attempts to earn what was already yours. I wanted you to stop long enough to know that I am God. I wanted you to be still long enough to feel me moving. And in the stillness, you began to notice things, small things, things you could easily explain away. But you are still here, reading, waiting, wondering. That is not coincidence either. I am drawing you deeper now. The surface is no longer enough. The shallow answers will no longer satisfy. You are entering a place where the questions are more important than the answers, because the questions are bringing you closer to me. Do not turn back. Do not scroll away. Do not let distraction pull you from the threshold of what I am about to say. The signs you have been seeing, they were not random. They were not your imagination. They were not wishful thinking. And if you keep seeing them, if you keep feeling that pull, if you keep noticing the things others miss, it is because I am speaking to you. Not in a language you can control, not in a way you can predict, but in a way that will change everything if you let it. The silence is over. The hiding is done. The truth is coming, and it will not leave you where it found you. Breathe now. Steady your heart, because what I am about to tell you in the next part will answer the questions you have been too afraid to ask. You are not ready yet, but you are closer than you have ever been. You have been looking for me in the wrong places, not because you were foolish, not because you were faithless, but because you were taught to look where the crowd looks. You were taught that I speak in burning bushes and parting seas, in booming voices and blinding lights. And yes, I have spoken that way. I have done the miraculous. I have moved in ways that left no room for doubt. But that is not how I have been speaking to you. Look back. Look back at the things you cannot explain. The peace that came over you in the middle of your chaos. The thought that told you to wait when everything in you wanted to move. The sudden memory of a warning you ignored, rising up in your mind just as you were about to repeat the same mistake. The feeling that someone was watching over you even when you were completely alone. That was me. I have been speaking to you through the things you almost missed, through the moments you almost dismissed, through the coincidences that were not coincidences at all. I have been leaving breadcrumbs along your path, and you have been walking past them, looking for a feast. But the breadcrumbs were the food. The small signs were the sustenance. The quiet nudges were the guidance you begged for. You asked me to lead you, and I did. But you were waiting for a map, and I gave you a whisper. You were waiting for a floodlight, and I gave you a flicker. You were waiting for a voice you could hear with your ears, and I was speaking to a place much deeper than that. I was speaking to your spirit, and your spirit heard me. That is why you feel restless. That is why you feel unsettled. That is why the things that used to satisfy you now feel hollow. Your spirit has been awakened to my voice, and it will no longer settle for the noise of the world. You cannot go back to the way things were. You cannot unhear what you have heard. Even if you try to distract yourself, even if you try to bury it under busyness and entertainment and escape, the knowing will remain. You know that something has changed. You know that you are being called, but you do not yet know where. And that uncertainty has been the hardest part, has it not? The not knowing, the waiting, the wondering if you imagined the whole thing, the fear that you have been chasing something that was never real. I have watched you wrestle with this. I'd have seen you doubt yourself, doubt the signs, doubt whether I was ever speaking at all, and I have not been angry with your doubt. Doubt is not the opposite of faith. Pretending is. Your doubt has kept you honest. Your doubt has kept you searching. Your doubt has prevented you from building a religion around something I never said, and has kept your heart open to the possibility that I am still speaking. Do not be ashamed of your questions. Bring them to me. Lay them down. Let me answer them in ways you cannot predict. But you must stop demanding that I answer in the way you expect. I am God. Not a machine, not a formula, not a vending machine you approach with the right words and the right posture. I do not perform on command. I do not explain myself to satisfy your curiosity. I reveal what you need when you need it in the way that will shape you most deeply. And what you need right now is not an explanation. What you need is trust. You need to trust that the signs you have been seeing are real, that the timing of this message is not random, that the reason you are still reading, still breathing, still hoping, it's because I am not finished with you yet. You are not an afterthought. You are not a mistake. You are not someone I forgot about while tending to more important people. I formed you. I knew you before you drew your first breath. I have numbered your days and woven your story into a tapestry you cannot yet see. The threads that look tangled to you are forming a picture that will take your breath away. But you must stop pulling at the threads. You must stop trying to unravel what I am weaving. Let me work. Let me lead. Let me speak, even when the speaking is quiet, even when the guidance is subtle, even when the signs are so small you could easily miss them. I am not trying to confuse you. I am trying to draw you close. If I shouted, you would only hear the shout. If I made it obvious, you would follow the sign and not the shepherd. But I want you to follow me. I want you to know my voice so intimately that you recognize it even in a whisper. Do you remember the times you almost gave up? The moments when the weight was too heavy and the night was too long and you thought you could not take another step. Do you remember how something held you? How something kept you going? How something put one foot in front of the other when your strength was gone? That was me. I was not just watching, I was carrying. I was not just observing, I was intervening in ways you could not see. I sent people you never thanked. I closed doors you never knew were traps. I delayed answers that would have destroyed you if they had come sooner. I was working while you were weeping. I was fighting while you were falling. I was holding together what you thought was falling apart, and you never even knew. But now you are beginning to see. Now the scales are thinning. Now the fog is lifting just enough for you to glimpse the truth. You have never been alone, not once, not for a single second. I have been with you in the darkest night and the brightest day. I have been with you in the moments of triumph and the moments of shame. I have been with you when you felt me and when you felt nothing at all. My presence has never depended on your perception of it. I am here. I have always been here. And the signs you have been seeing, the ones you thought were coincidence, the ones you dismissed as wishful thinking, the ones you were afraid to trust, they were me reaching out to you. They were me saying, I am near, I am listening, I am moving. They were me preparing you for what is coming next, because something is coming. You have felt it building. You have sensed it in the atmosphere. You have noticed the shifts, the stirrings, the subtle changes in your circumstances and your heart. The waiting season is not eternal. The silence is breaking. The hidden things are about to surface, not to harm you, but to heal you, not to expose you, but to free you. There are things you have buried that need to be unearthed. There are wounds you have ignored that need my touch. There are lies you have believed that have shaped your life more than my truth has, and I am going to show you every single one of them. Not to shame you, not to break you, but to set you free in a way you have never known. You have been living with a partial picture. You have been making decisions based on incomplete information. You have been carrying weights that were never yours to carry, and fighting battles I never asked you to fight. That is about to change, but you must be willing to see what I show you. You must be willing to hear what I speak to you. You must be willing to trust that the signs are real, that the timing is perfect, and that the one who began this work in you will be faithful to complete it. The next part will open your eyes to things you have been missing, things you could not see before, things that will explain why the road has been so hard and why the waiting has been so long. Rest now. You are safe in my hands, and I am just getting started. There is something you have not understood about the silence. You have treated it as emptiness. You have treated it as absence. You have treated it as proof that I was not listening, not moving, not concerned with the details of your life. But the silence was not empty. The silence was full of preparation, full of protection, full of things being arranged that you could not see. Think of a seed buried in the ground. To the eye, nothing is happening. The soil is still. The surface is unchanged. Day after day, week after week, the seed sits in darkness, and anyone watching would say it is dead. But beneath the surface, where no one can see, the shell is breaking. The root is reaching. The life that was dormant is awakening. And one day, without warning, a shoot breaks through the ground. not because the work just happened, but because the work was finally complete. That is what the silence has been for you. I have been working beneath the surface. I have been breaking the hard places in your heart. I have been stretching roots of faith into soil you could not see. I have been preparing you for a breakthrough that would mean nothing if it came too soon. Because if the seed breaks ground before the root is ready, the sun will scorch it. If the shoot appears before the stem is strong, the wind will snap it. I was protecting you in the silence. I was strengthening you in the hidden place. And now you are ready for what comes next. But you must understand, the signs you have been seeing are not just reassurance. They are not just comfort. They are not just me saying, I am here. They are also warnings. Not warnings of punishment, but warnings of transition. Warnings that things are about to shift. Warnings that the ground beneath you is moving and you must decide where you will stand. You have been asking for direction. You have been asking for clarity. You have been asking for me to show you the next step. And I have been showing you, but not in the way you expected. I have been showing you through the doors that are closing. I have been showing you through the people who are leaving. I have been showing you through the peace that leaves when you move in the wrong direction, and the peace that stays when you are exactly where you need to be. You have ignored that peace. You have overridden that peace. You have pushed past that peace because you wanted something so badly that you convinced yourself I wanted it too. And then, when it fell apart, when it crumbled in your hands, when it left you more empty than before, you wondered where I was. I was where I always am. I was waiting for you to come back to the place where peace lives. I was waiting for you to stop running ahead of me and start walking with me. Look at the signs you have been seeing. Look at the patterns. Look at the things that keep happening, the themes that keep repeating, the lessons that keep coming back until you learn them. I am not a God of confusion. I am not a God of randomness. I am a God of order, of purpose, of meaning woven into every detail. If something keeps appearing in your path, it is not an accident. It is me. I am speaking through the repetition. I am speaking through the frustration. I am speaking through the things that will not go away until you finally pay attention. There is an area of your life you have been avoiding. A conversation you need to have. A decision you need to make. A habit you need to break. A person you need to forgive. Yourself most of all. You have been circling it for months, for years, avoiding the pain, avoiding the discomfort, avoiding the confrontation with what is required of you. And I have been patient. But the signs are increasing now because the window is narrowing. There are things I want to give you that you cannot receive until you deal with what is in your way. There are doors I want to open that will remain sealed until you close the ones you are holding open. There is freedom I want to release in your life that is blocked by the chains you refuse to let me break. You say you want change, but you keep doing the same things. You say you want healing, but you keep picking at the wound. You say you want to hear my voice, but you keep filling your life with noise. The signs are me calling you back to the quiet. Me calling you back to the place where we can speak without distraction. Me calling you back to the surrender you have been avoiding because surrender feels like losing. But surrender to me is not losing. It is winning. It is laying down the weight you were never meant to carry. It is releasing the control you never really had. It is finally admitting that you cannot do this alone and discovering that you were never meant to. Do you remember the moment you first felt me? Not the religion, not the routine, not the things you were taught, but the moment when you knew deep in your bones that there was something more, that you were not just flesh and blood and random chance, that you were seen, known, loved by something greater than yourself. I placed it there. I planted that knowing in your spirit so that no matter how far you wandered, no matter how much you doubted, no matter how many times you turned away, you would always have a memory of the truth, a thread to follow back to me, a sign that would never fully fade. And that thread has been pulling you through the darkness, through the doubt, through the years when you pretended not to feel it. That thread has been pulling you toward this moment, right now, where I am finally able to say what you have needed to hear. You are not too far gone. You are not too broken. You are not too late. The mistakes you have made have not disqualified you. The years you have wasted have not closed the door. The people who have hurt you have not stolen your future. I am the God who redeems. I am the God who restores. I am the God who takes the ashes and breathes beauty into them, not in spite of what happened, but through it. You must stop fighting the very process that is saving you. You must stop running from the very hands that are reaching for you. The signs are not going to stop. If anything, they are going to increase. They are going to become harder to ignore, harder to explain away, harder to dismiss as coincidence. Because I love you too much to let you stay where you are. I love you too much to let you settle for less than what I have for you. I love you too much to stop pursuing you even when you hide. And you have been hiding. Behind busyness, behind distractions, behind the noise of your phone and the demands of your day, behind the walls you built to keep people out and to keep me out too. But walls cannot keep me out. I am already inside them. I am already in the room with you. I am already closer than your next breath. The question is not whether I am speaking. The question is whether you will finally listen. The question is whether you will finally believe them. The question is not whether I have a plan for your life. The question is whether you will finally stop running from it. The next part will show you what you have been missing in the signs, the patterns you have overlooked, the messages you have misinterpreted, and it will change the way you see everything. Do not turn away now. You are closer than you think. You have misunderstood the signs because you have misunderstood the nature of the one who sends them. You have treated me as if I were like you, limited by time, constrained by distance, bound by the same laws of cause and effect that govern your natural world. But I am not like you. I am not limited by the things that limit you. I am not confined to the sequences you must follow. I am the God who speaks across time, who weaves messages through moments you have not yet lived, who plants seeds in your past that will bloom in your future. And this is why the signs have confused you, because they do not always make sense in the present. They are not always meant to. Some signs are for now. Some signs are for later. Some signs are confirmations of things you have already walked through, and some signs are preparations for things you cannot yet imagine. You have been demanding that every sign make immediate sense, that every message come with instant clarity, that every nudge be accompanied by a full explanation. But that is not how I work. I speak in layers. I speak in depths. I speak in ways that unfold over time, revealing more as you are able to receive more. And the signs you have been seeing, the ones that seemed random, the ones that felt incomplete, the ones that left you with more questions than answers, they were not mistakes. They were invitations to trust me beyond your need to understand. Think of the times you have looked back and finally understood. The relationship that ended, and only years later did you see why it had to. The job you lost, and only after did you realize it was saving you from something worse. The prayer that went unanswered, and only in hindsight did you see that my no was protecting you from a yes that would have destroyed you. In those moments of looking back, you saw my hand. You saw the pattern. You saw that I was working even when you could not see me working. And yet now, in the present, you have forgotten that lesson. You are demanding to see forward what you have only ever been able to see backward. You are demanding that I show you the whole picture when you have never been able to carry the whole picture. I give you what you need, when you need it, not before, not after, exactly when it will serve you most deeply. And the signs you are seeing now are part of that timing. They are not random. They are not incomplete. They are exactly what you need for this moment. But you must stop judging them by what they do not show you, and start receiving them for what they do show you. They show you that I am near. They show you that I am active. They show you that you are not forgotten. And sometimes that is all you need to know for now. There is something else you have misunderstood about the signs. You have looked for them only in the extraordinary, and you have missed them in the ordinary. You have waited for the angelic visitations, the supernatural manifestations, the unmistakable miracles, and you have overlooked the way I speak through a sunrise, through a song that plays at exactly the right moment, through a stranger's words that land like they were written just for you. You have wanted the burning bush, and you have missed the way I speak through the flicker of a candle. You have wanted the parting sea, and you have missed the way I make a way through a conversation, through an opportunity, through a thought that arrives like a gift from somewhere beyond you. I am in the ordinary. I have always been in the ordinary. I am the God who made the mundane and called it good. I am the God who chose to be born in a stable, to grow up in obscurity, to spend most of my years on earth in complete anonymity. I do not despise the ordinary. I inhabit it. And if you will only look for me there, you will find me everywhere. You will find me in the kindness of a friend, in the beauty of a tree, in the strange peace that comes over you when you finally stop striving. You will find that the signs have been surrounding you all along, not just in the moments of high drama, but in the quiet fabric of your everyday life. Open your eyes to the ordinary. Open your heart to the small. That is where I have been speaking most clearly, and you have been too busy waiting for thunder to hear the whisper. I want to talk to you now about the signs you have been afraid to trust, the ones that felt too good to be true, the ones that seemed like they were giving you hope, and you have been burned by hope before. You have learned to protect yourself by expecting the worst. You have learned to survive by assuming that anything good will eventually be taken from you. And so, when I send you a sign of goodness, a sign of hope, a sign that something beautiful is on its way, your first instinct is to reject it, to explain it away, to protect yourself from the disappointment of believing it and being wrong. I understand why you have built those walls. I have seen what you have been through. I have held you in the nights when hope felt like the cruelest thing of all. I am not angry at your protection, but I am asking you now to let the walls down just a little, just enough to receive what I am trying to give you. I am not like the people who have hurt you. I do not promise what I will not deliver. I do not raise hopes only to dash them. I am the God who keeps every promise, who finishes every work, who is faithful even when you are faithless. When I send you a sign of hope, it is not a trick. It is not a setup for disappointment. It is a glimpse of what is coming. It is a down payment on the future I am preparing for you. And you can trust it, because you can trust me. The signs are also a form of protection. You have not understood this. You have seen them only as guidance, only as direction, only as comfort. But I also use signs to warn you. I use signs to slow you down. I use signs to create a hesitation in your spirit when you are about to move in a direction that will harm you. Have you felt that hesitation? Have you felt that check in your spirit? That sudden unease? That sense that something is not right, even when everything looks right on the surface? That was me. That was a sign. That was a warning light on the dashboard of your soul, telling you to pause, to wait, to look closer before you proceed. And how many times have you ignored it? How many times have you pushed past that unease because you wanted what was in front of you more than you wanted my protection? How many times have you walked into disaster with your eyes open because you refused to heed the sign I placed in your path? I am not telling you this to shame you. I am telling you this so that you will learn to recognize my warnings as the gifts they are. I am telling you this so that the next time you feel that check in your spirit, you will stop. You will listen. You will ask me what I am showing you. And you will save yourself from pain I never wanted you to experience. The signs are increasing now because the stakes are increasing. You are entering a season where your decisions matter more, where your clarity matters more, where your ability to discern my voice from all the other voices will determine the course of your life. This is not a time for casual faith. This is not a time for half-hearted attention. This is a time for waking up, for paying attention, for leaning into every sign I send and every whisper I speak. The world is loud. The distractions are many. The voices telling you what to do, what to want, what to pursue are coming at you from every direction. But my voice is the one that cuts through. My voice is the one that settles in your chest and will not leave. My voice is the one that feels like coming home, even when it is telling you things you do not want to hear. Learn that voice, know that voice, trust that voice above all others, because it is the voice that has loved you from the beginning. It is the voice that will love you to the end. And it is the voice that is speaking to you now, through every sign, through every moment, through every breath you take. The next part will reveal why some signs had to be missed before they could be understood, why the delays were necessary, why the confusion served a purpose, and it will bring you closer to the peace you have been searching for. You have carried something for a very long time that was never meant to be carried. It is the weight of the missed signs, the overlooked messages, the moments when I spoke and you did not hear. You have looked back at your life and seen the places where you walked past me, where you ignored the nudge, where you chose your own way and paid the price. And you have wondered if those moments disqualified you. You have wondered if you missed your chance. You have wondered if the door is now closed forever because you did not walk through it when it was open. Listen to me now, and let this truth sink into the deepest places of your heart. Nothing is wasted. Not your mistakes, not your delays, not your detours, not even the signs you missed. I am the God who redeems, and I do not redeem in part. I redeem in full. The signs you missed were not the end of the story. They were part of the story. They were teaching you something you could not learn any other way. They were shaping in you a hunger you would not have felt if you had gotten what you wanted when you wanted it. They were creating in you a dependence on me that only comes through the experience of your own insufficiency. Do you see? Even your missed signs have served my purpose. Even your failures have been folded into my plan. Even your worst decisions have not derailed what I am doing in your life. I am too big for that. I am too sovereign for that. I am too good for that. You have not ruined anything beyond my ability to restore. You have not missed anything beyond my ability to redeem. The question is not whether you missed signs in the past. The question is whether you will see the signs I am placing before you now. There is a reason you could not see some things until now. It is not because I was hiding them from you cruelly. It is because you were not ready to see them. If I had shown you certain truths earlier, they would have destroyed you. If I had revealed certain paths sooner, you would have run down them with your own strength and fallen into traps you could not see. If I had explained everything when you demanded explanations, you would have taken the explanation and missed me. I am more interested in giving you myself than in giving you answers. I am more interested in your transformation than in your information. And transformation takes time. It takes process. It takes the slow, painful, beautiful work of stripping away everything that is not of me, so that what remains is truly you, the you I created you to be, the you have been searching for, the you that has been hidden under layers of wounding and coping and pretending. The signs you see now are not just about direction. They are about becoming. They are about the person you are turning into as you follow them. They are about the deepening of your spirit that happens when you learn to trust me in the small things so that you can trust me in the large things. Do not despise the process. Do not rush the becoming. I am working, and my work is perfect, and it will be completed in exactly the right time. You have asked me why some prayers remain unanswered. You have asked me why some doors stay closed. You have asked me why the signs sometimes lead to what looks like a dead end. And I have heard every question. I have collected every tear. I have stored every cry in a bottle and recorded every word in my book. But I want you to consider something now that you may not have considered before. What if the unanswered prayers were the answer? What if the closed doors were the protection? What if the dead ends were actually the path? You have only one perspective, yours. You see a tiny sliver of time and call it eternity. You see a moment of pain and call it permanent. You see a delay and call it denial. But I see what you cannot see. I see the trap you would have walked into if that prayer had been answered. I see the person who would have destroyed you if that door had opened. I see the destination that would have ruined you if that path had been clear. You cannot know what I know, and so you must trust me. Not because it is easy, not because it feels good, but because I am trustworthy. Because I have proven myself to you in 1,000 ways you have never acknowledged. Because I have kept you when you did not know you were being kept. Because I have provided when you did not see the provision. Because I have loved you when you were unlovable, and I have stayed when everyone else left. I have earned your trust, not through words, but through a lifetime of faithfulness you have been too distracted to notice. Open your eyes now. Look back with honesty. See the ways I have carried you, protected you, provided for you, guided you, and then ask yourself, if I have been faithful in all those things, can I not be trusted with this? There is a sign you have been asking for that I have not given you. You know the one. It is the sign that would make everything clear. The sign that would remove all doubt. The sign that would answer all your questions and settle all your fears. And I have not given it to you. Do you know why? Because that sign would cost you something you are not yet willing to give. It would require a surrender you have been holding back. It would demand a trust you have been protecting yourself from. I do not give signs to satisfy curiosity. I give signs to invite obedience. I do not give clarity to those who want to stay comfortable. I give clarity to those who are ready to move. And you are not yet ready to move in the direction that sign would point. You are still holding on to something. You are still protecting something. You are still keeping one foot on the shore while asking me to show you the deep water. But I will not show you the deep water until you are willing to leave the shore. I will not give you the full picture until you have acted on the partial picture. I will not reveal the next step until you have taken the step you already see. This is not cruelty. This is love. This is wisdom. This is the way I shape character, build faith, and form in you the person who can carry what I want to give you. So stop waiting for the sign that removes all risk. It is not coming. Faith requires risk. Trust requires uncertainty. Following me requires not knowing where we are going, but knowing who is leading. That is the invitation. That is the adventure. That is the life you were made for. The signs you have been seeing are enough. They are enough for today. They are enough for the step in front of you. They are enough to keep you moving, keep you trusting, keep you close to me. Do not despise the small signs because you are waiting for something big. Do not ignore the whispers because you are waiting for thunder. The small signs are preparing you for the big ones. The whispers are training your ear to recognize my voice when the storm comes. And the storm is coming, not to destroy you, but to reveal what is truly in you, to show you what you are made of, to demonstrate to the watching world that you belong to me and I belong to you. The storm will not break you. It will make you. It will not destroy your faith. It will deepen it. It will not separate you from me. It will drive you closer to me than you have ever been. And when you come through it, and you will come through it, you will look back and see that the signs were there all along. Every whisper, every small nudge, they were all leading you to this, to the place where you finally know, beyond any doubt, that you are mine and I am yours. The final part is coming. It will bring together everything you have heard. It will give you what you need to move forward. And it will leave you with a peace you have not felt in a very long time. And now you have arrived at the place where so many turn back. You have come this far. You have read these words. You have felt the weight of them settling into places you did not know were empty. But the moment you close your eyes, the moment you step away from this message, the moment you return to the noise of your life, you will face a choice. It is the same choice you have always faced. It is the choice between holding on to what you know and reaching for what I am showing you. It is the choice between staying where it is safe and stepping into what I have prepared. And I will not make it for you. I have never made it for you. I have called, I have whispered, I have shouted, I have sent sign after sign after sign. But I have never forced your hand. I have never violated the gift I gave you, the gift of choosing, the gift of deciding, the gift of saying yes or no to the one who loves you beyond all measure. And now, in this moment, the choice is yours again, not because I am walking away, not because I am finished speaking, but because there is a kind of knowing that only comes through choosing. There is a depth of relationship that only comes through surrender. There is a peace that only comes when you finally stop fighting and let yourself be loved. You have spent so long trying to figure it all out, trying to understand, trying to make sense of the chaos and the pain and the confusion. You have analyzed your past until you are exhausted. You have worried about your future until you are anxious. You have compared your path to others until you are discouraged. And none of it has brought you what you are actually looking for. You are looking for me. You have always been looking for me. Every search for meaning, every longing for love, every hunger for something more, it has all been a search for me. And I have been here all along, not hiding, not distant, not waiting for you to get your life together before I would accept you. I have been here in the mess. I have been here in the failure. I have been here in the moments you are ashamed to let anyone see. I have not turned away. I have not been shocked. I have not loved you less. I have loved you through all of it, and I will love you through all that is still to come. The signs you have been seeing were never just about guidance. They were about relationship. They were about intimacy. They were about teaching you to recognize my voice, the way a child recognizes the voice of a parrot, without thinking, without analyzing, without doubting. That is where we are heading. That is what I am doing in you. I am teaching you to know me, not to know about me, not to know the right words or the right doctrines or the right religious practices. To know me, to recognize my presence in the room before you see me, to feel the shift in your spirit when I draw near, to hear my voice in the chaos and know beyond any doubt that I am speaking to you. This is not reserved for a special few. This is not only for the prophets and the saints and the people who seem more spiritual than you. This is for you. This is what I created you for. This is what you have been longing for without even knowing it. There is one more thing you need to understand before we finish this part of the conversation. It is the thing that will make everything else make sense. It is the key that unlocks the door you have been standing in front of. Here it is. The signs were never the point. The signs were always pointing to something, to someone beyond themselves. The signs were arrows, and you have been staring at the arrows instead of following where they point. You have been studying the signs, analyzing the signs, wondering if the signs are real, wondering what the signs mean, and all the while, I have been standing at the end of every sign, waiting for you to look up and see me. The closed door was a sign pointing to a different open door. The delay was a sign pointing to my timing. The peace was a sign pointing to my presence. The restlessness was a sign pointing to my call. Everything has been pointing to me, and I am here. I have always been here. I am not hiding at the end of the signs. I am in the signs themselves. I am in the closed door and the open door. I am in the delay and the breakthrough. I am in the peace and the restlessness. I am in all of it, holding all of it, working through all of it, because I am in you and you are in me, and nothing can separate what I have joined together. You may be wondering what happens now. You may be wondering what you are supposed to do with everything you have heard. You may be waiting for a specific instruction, a clear next step, a word that tells you exactly what to do when you wake up tomorrow morning. And I will give you that word. It is simple. It is the same word I have been speaking to you from the beginning. It is the word that contains everything else. Here it is. Stay with me. That is all. Stay with me. Not striving, not performing, not figuring it all out. Just staying, just remaining, just abiding in the presence of the one who loves you. The next steps will come. The clarity will come. The doors will open and close in their time. But none of it matters if you are not with me. None of it works if you are running ahead or lagging behind or trying to do it on your own. Stay with me. In the morning when you wake, stay with me. In the noise of your day, stay with me. In the decisions you face, stay with me. In the moments of doubt and fear and uncertainty, stay with me. I am not going anywhere. I am not leaving you. I am not giving up on you. I am with you always, even to the end of the age. And if you will stay with me, you will find that the signs continue, but they will no longer confuse you. They will no longer frustrate you. They will become what they were always meant to be, conversations between us, whispers of love, confirmation that you are seen, known, and never alone. Do not be afraid of what comes next. Do not be afraid of the unknown. Do not be afraid of the changes that are coming, or the things you will have to release. I am with you in the release. I am with you in the change. I am with you in the unknown. And I am for you. I have always been for you, even when it did not feel like it, even when the signs seemed cruel, even when the silence seemed endless. I was for you, working for you, fighting for you, preparing for you. And what I have prepared is good. It is not pain-free. It is not struggle-free. But it is good. It is purposeful. It is filled with meaning and growth and a depth of joy you have not yet experienced. Trust me for it. Trust me through it. Trust me with it. And let the signs do what they were always meant to do. You are not at the end. You are at a beginning. The end of one way of seeing and the beginning of another. The end of one way of hearing and the beginning of another. The end of one way of living and the beginning of another. And I am with you at this beginning, just as I have been with you through every ending. I will not leave you. I will not forsake you. I will not stop speaking, and I will not stop loving you. Not now, not ever. Go in peace. The signs have served their purpose. You have heard what you needed to hear, and now the living begins. The trusting begins. The walking with me begins in a way it never has before. I am proud of you for coming this far. I am honored by your willingness to listen, and I am excited for what is to come. You are mine. I am yours, and nothing will ever change that. This is not goodbye. This is just the beginning of a new way of hearing. Keep listening. I am still speaking, and I will never stop.